Well, thank you so much for staying with us. And thank you, Bull Country Compost, a product that we use every time we plant a tree for a customer. When we are planting something ourselves, at the store, if we have something that we decide to plant on site, we always use Bull Country Compost. It makes a great mulch also for around your annuals and your vegetable plants. Just a fabulous product. Just can't say enough about Bull Country Compost. So we are going to talk about a couple more nuisance that we are all dealing with. And actually, several of you this week has come in and are having mosquito issues. Remember, standing water is going to be that great attractor to the mosquitoes to lay their eggs in. So you want to make sure that if you do have any standing water, you can try to control it if you can, get it dumped out. But if you do have standing water in like a bird bath or a little kiddie pool that you have for your ducks or your chickens, like I do, cleaning it out on a regular basis. But also there are the mosquito dunks, the mosquito sachets that you can drop right into the water. It will, a good bacteria that kills off the mosquito larvae so they can't ever hatch and become mosquitoes so that they can bite you or your pets or your livestock. And that's a great way to do it. So you can go ahead and drop those in and control those issues. But also around your trees and shrubs, there are things that you might want to spray where there's not really standing water, but those damp areas will definitely hold and attract the mosquitoes. So you might want to, in those cases, use the Mosquito Beader product so that you can, control those mosquitoes around your patios, around your play areas where the kids are going to be, and be able to save yourself all of those little bumps all over you. And then, of course, the spread of Lyme disease. So you want to make sure that you are controlling the mosquitoes and the ticks and the fleas, all of those. And the Mosquito Beader is great to control all of those insects, not just the mosquitoes. It comes in a liquid form and it also comes in a granular form. So you can sprinkle it on the ground around an area, and it will definitely help keep those mosquitoes away of that area. Also, the spray, you can spray in your shrubbery, and that's going to be inside there, laying on the needles of your evergreens where it seems like the mosquitoes really like to hang out. It's a great safe place for them. And so you can spray that in there and it keep them all at bay. Also, remember one of the best ways to control mosquitoes is with the citronella plant and the lemongrass. Also, lavender is good to help keep those away. So planting those plants around the areas where you are going to be playing or relaxing, entertaining, that's going to be great. Having a citronella plant on your deck or your patio or at your campsite, you can pull one of the leaves off, rub it on yourself, and have great control. So it is a great idea not to only use the repellents, but also have some of these plants that's going to work very well. The lavender is a perennial. You can plant it in the ground. Lemongrass, if we have a very mild winter or you have a very good protected area, oftentimes it will come back, but you can overwinter it in the house. And the citronella plant is a wonderful house plant. Not hardy in our zone at all, but you can leave it in a pot, let it get nice and large, bring it in the house for the winter. It makes a great house plant. It has a nice scent. Remember, the more you touch it, the more the oils are released, and the better it's going to be at repelling those mosquitoes for you. A lot of you are dealing with weeds right now, and I understand that it is a brutal part of gardening, and a lot of newbies, new gardeners are like overwhelmed already, and here we are only into the third week of June. It's really this is a battle that all gardeners deal with, and controlling weeds is something that is I guess, the hard part or the negative part of gardening. You really have to control those weeds so that they don't, absorb the nutrients and the moisture that you want to go to your desirable plants, the plants that's going to give you a harvest. So it's really important that you control the weeds, and that is difficult. So, the best way, I always say, is to actually get in there and pull them weeds. And so many people are like, I just don't have time to do that. And I completely understand. And this week, Amanda was in the store and we were talking. She's like, I'm just not really good at this. And I said, and I know her personally, so I could say this to her. And not all customers do I talk like this to, but I could do this with her. I said, Amanda, after you do your devotions in the morning, spending time with the Lord in the garden, there's just no better way. I said it all began in the garden. And so, if you can, before the kids get up, or, early in the morning, you do your devotions and you do that alone time with the Lord out in the garden, and, pull your weeds and talk to him. And, you just can't imagine how he talks to you during those times. I have been the Lord has just spoke to my heart so many times while I'm out in the garden. And sometimes it's, wasn't planned. Oh, this is my time with the Lord, but I'll be out in the garden. I'll be weeding away. And then something crosses my mind and I pray about it. And then the Lord really speaks to me during that time in the garden. And so it is something that is, a great way to spend that time. And we can't do that year round in Ohio. But when we can do it, it is just such a lovely way to get out there. And even when it's sprinkling the rain in the summertime, it might be really warm still, and it's sprinkling, and you can go out and do your weeding. It's always easier to do the weeding after a rain. So that is a great time to do it. Or late in the evening, maybe you put the kids to bed and tell your spouse, I'm going to go work in the garden for a half an hour and just spend that time weeding and talking to God about your day. And it's just amazing how he can speak to you in that time when you're all alone with him out in his surroundings, out there in nature. And it's a great way to get the garden weeded and spend that time with the Lord that sometimes we neglect during the day when we're so busy and tied up with all of the responsibilities that we have in life, being parents and business owners and our jobs and all of those kind of things. Well, we want to let you know about some of the great things we have going on this weekend. We are celebrating Father's Day, of course, and we have some great shrubs that Dad might like. Also, a great thing that a lot of you have done throughout the past years that we've seen is help Dad with the mulch over this weekend. So, coming in, picking up the mulch or having it delivered, and then helping Dad with all of his mulching this weekend would be great. We are also offering a tomato plant BOGO. Tomatoes is something that we still have a nice amount of, and some of you are still planting your tomatoes, and by all means, it's not too late, especially if you are doing container gardening. Definitely not too late at all to plant tomatoes in a container that might be an indeterminate tomato that you want to bring in and have them last you late into the fall. But tomatoes, most of our tomatoes are in a 3-pack. Some are in a 2-pack, but we're offering the BOGO. You buy a pack, you get a pack, or maybe you need to do a lot of tomato plants still. And so we're offering you buy a full flat and you get a full flat. So those are going to be some great specials this weekend. We do have regular business hours. Today we opened at 8. We'll be open till 4. Tomorrow we will open an hour early at 10 a.m. for all of you early shoppers that want to come in and get some things for Dad or get an early start on that mulch. And we will be open tomorrow until 3 p.m. our regular time. And then I'm going to go spend some time at the cemetery at my dad's grave site and my husband and be touching up all the things that we did back on Memorial Day. But our regular business hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Sundays, 11 to 3. And a lot of you say that you have gone on to Google, and that is not correct. That is true. Google has not updated, and I'm not sure why, because we update them all the time. But if you do want to find out legitimate business hours, always go to our Facebook page, Anthony Petitti Organic Greenhouse, and our hours are always up to date. We change them regularly. If we change our hours, it is updated on our Facebook page. Also, if you have questions that you would like to have answered, you can do that on our Facebook page. Go to Anthony Petitti Organic Greenhouse on Facebook. Go to our messenger, hit that and message us. Lots of you are taking advantage of that in ordering and asking your questions that you have. So please do that. Or you can always, if you're somebody that's would rather do the email, you can email me at Cindy Petitti, CindyPetti @gmail.com. You can always give us a call at 330-455-5997, or better yet, bring your question in. If it's a disease or an insect, please bring it in a jar or a baggie at 5828 Columbus Road, right there on the corner of Columbus Road and Broadway. We are in Nimishillen Township. We have a Louisville address. But please, come on in and visit with us. We still have a nice selection of vegetable plants. We have been planting late, and so we still have some of those. Flowers are getting a little short, but we do have a new shipment of landscape plants that will be coming in this coming week. We placed it mid this week in front of us. I think it was on Tuesday we placed that order. So sometime this coming week, that landscape order should be in. So if you are hunting for some new trees and shrubs, we will have a great new selection of trees and shrubs coming in this coming week. And also, we wanted to remind everyone that didn't know about the things that we have in our cafe area. And if you didn't know that we have a farm on site, and so we sell, we raise our animals all on a non-GMO organic diet. So we sell in the store beef and chicken and pork and goat, and then lamb from the Kell One farm in Hartville, also raised the same way that we raise. We also do sell our eggs from our chickens, and very shortly we will have eggs from our ducks. They will be laying probably in the next 2 months. We should start getting duck eggs again. Our chicken eggs are on an order basis, though, because we have so many people that want the eggs. We are taking orders for eggs, and then we put you on a schedule, and you come in and get your eggs. We just don't have them cash and carry right now. We just don't have enough of them. But we want to thank you again for being with us today, and we will be back with you next Saturday right here at 8 a.m. on the Light 95.9. Have a blessed week.